Today we see the inauguration of the new transitional SRC. We just had the latitude of having our new Chancellor at the University of Limpopo, who's a female. And today we see the new president, who's a female at the University of Limpopo. So the aim of today's occasion is to officially put the Student Representative Council into action, officially have them sworn into their duties, and officially introduce them to the university community and especially to the student community. These are students that are going to be representing the university community, students community, in terms of their voices being heard, in terms of them being heard in various levels of institutional governance. They will influence academic programs, decision making. They will influence various student life experiences, and they will learn the university policies and the national policies on higher education. Welcome to the inauguration of the Transitional Student Representative Council of the University of Limpopo. And to kickstart the event, we would have the Dean of Students, Dr. Masipa, to come and welcome us officially into this event. Dean of Students, Dr. Masipa, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I'm really delighted by this occasion. This is a very important occasion of the university. My role is not a big one, but just to try and welcome people. I'm first going to be welcoming you, Mr. Chairperson, Professor Matsibatlel, and trying to settle you to continue with this process, the entire process for the day. I'm also welcoming Advocate Freki Podelis, who will be playing a very important role today in the inauguration to make sure that our young people, the SRC, are now committed to serving the students. I would obviously would like to welcome the students themselves, the SRC, the TSRC, the members of the TSRC. It's your big day today. Please be welcomed and make sure that you settle. I would not want to forget to welcome everybody, the university community, the staff and students, and any other person that might just be with us today to witness this occasion. You're all welcome, and then most importantly, I would like to welcome the Vice Chancellor, Professor Mkhalo. With those few words, I'm hoping that I've settled everybody, that we are sitting here, and then we're going to be watching the inauguration of the TSRC of the University of Limpopo. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you, Dr. Masipa, for welcoming us. I feel very much at ease now. I can stretch my arms and legs, and we can continue with the event. Just like our president has said in one of his nation addresses when he was talking about the current pandemic that we face and having to welcome this new SRC at this stage, he said it's like walking in a river. You don't know how high, how deep, how shallow, how wide it is, or how strong the tides are. But you will slip and you will falter. You will get up, you will find weak ground, you will find strong ground. As long as we stand together and have good leadership, we will survive and we will come out of this pandemic stronger and better. One person who has led us through thick and thin for many years, seen the university flourish in leaps and bounds, is our own Vice Chancellor and Principal. And I would like to welcome him to come and give a message of support to the young, vibrant community of students that are going to be forming part of the leadership of the University of Limpopo. Professor Mkhalo.
Thanks, Program Director, Prof. Matsibatlel, the Dean of Students, Dr. Masipa, Mr. Ngumalo, and everybody in student governance. The newly, I don't know whether to say, to be inaugurated representative, the Student Representative Council. my colleagues in management who will be participating in this occasion this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great pleasure for me that as the University of Limpopo, we take students serious, we take student representation serious, we take the voice of the students serious. We take it serious because we expect them to be responsible. There is nothing which will ever beat a responsible student and a responsible student leadership. We went through a legitimate process to put in place the transitional SRC. Members of the transitional SRC, you were in the main forwarded by your fellow students, nominated by your fellow students, supported by your student organizations to say you are the ones who, in their opinion, are ready, willing, and able to serve our students. Because of the pandemic, we couldn't have the normal SRC elections. But the progressive university we are, we do have a constitution which makes room for all sorts of eventualities. We have a SRC constitution. Yesterday, I was sharing it with my other Vice Chancellor colleagues who were saying they are really in a fix. They don't know how to move forward. And as the pioneers, we indicated to them that we do have a constitution which can assist them. And having said that, I will plead with the SRC to say you were put in office by that constitution. And like I said, with all previous SRCs, you must respect it. The moment you operate outside that constitution, you are in a way saying the document that put you in office, you no longer respect it. Now, if you no longer respect the document which put you in office, why should you remain there? You will be getting a lot of challenges, a lot of criticism, but that's what leadership is all about. You are not there to try and be popular. You are there to show us the type of leader you are. That despite all forms of criticism, you will do what is right, you will do what is expected of you. I know many students would have loved to be part of the transitional SRC. We had many students being nominated and nominating themselves, some of them, to say, we are the best to lead the students of the university. Unfortunately, the constitution I spoke about can only accommodate a maximum of 7 on a transitional SRC. So those who couldn't make it, I think they will accept it in good spirit. The same you would have done had they been successful and been the ones who are being inaugurated today. The first criticism which normally comes with any transitional SRC is that you are a management structure. You are not a management structure, you're a governance structure. And like all governance structures of the university, you have a specific role to play. We are all there to support and make sure the university is successful. Especially now that we're going through a very difficult period imposed on everybody by a virus which led to COVID. And we're doing everything possible to make sure that we save lives and we save the academic year. We tried, we're done with the first semester, and we have started with the second semester. It's going to be a touch and go one, difficult to manage, but remember, it's incumbent upon you to make sure that we all succeed. It's incumbent upon you to make sure that we all remain alive. And this, I'll always say, part of the things which will make us alive and succeed, we should always respect and keep up with the health protocols. They are very simple to adhere to. I already have a long list of transgressors, and I expect you as the SRC to assist us in making sure that we enforce the health protocols, thereby making sure that we keep our students, our staff healthy. That's what I will be expecting from you. In conclusion, let me say, take the inauguration serious. The induction program or process that is going to be followed, take it also serious, because that will assist you in knowing how to navigate your way through. I always fight with student leadership which dumps every program, every problem on the doorstep of the Vice Chancellor, as though we don't know why a university is the way it is. Administrative problems or challenges, we'll take them to all the responsible officials. Academic problems, we have got executive deans, you've got directors of schools, you've got HODs. Let's engage them. And engaging them doesn't mean you have to be rude to them. This thing of believing that if I'm a student leader, I have to be rude, it doesn't help. And a lot of people messed up opportunities by just believing they have to be rude to everybody. So welcome as the transitional SRC of the University of Limpopo. I'm sure we are all going to support you. We'll make sure you succeed. It's not going to be easy, like I said, but be rest assured, you will succeed. Thanks, Program Director.
Thank you very much. That was the Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of Limpopo, Professor Mafamukhalong, and he was giving a message of support and some advice in terms of responsibility, accountability, and leading a role in institutional governance and playing student-specific roles that factor into student life experiences. Very important. We have seen different transitional SRCs before. We have seen different SRCs before, but this is unprecedented. A transitional SRC in the middle of the pandemic, like the Vice Chancellor and Principal has outlined, as we are in the middle of the first and the second semester, now starting the second semester, and having to follow guidelines that are put to us and given to us from the National Ministry. And we, by the way, wish the Minister of Health good health as a quick recovery for him to come back into action after he himself and his family affected by the virus. We will now cross over to the Director of Student Life and Development. This is the team with which the Transitional SRC will be working with. He will be in the position where he will be hand in hand, side by side, working with the Transitional SRC, guiding them through and enabling them to be part of the processes and giving them all the policies of the institution and the national policies of higher education, and ensuring that the students become the voices of all the undergraduates and postgraduates, student communities in the University of Limpopo. Let's welcome the Director of Student Life and Development, Mr. Numalo.
Thank you very much, Program Director, for the opportunity. I would like to extend my greetings to the university community, in particular the Vice Chancellor, the Dean of Students, members of the Executive Management Committee who have joined us on the platform, members of the Tsrc, members of various student structures that have joined us, and also to extend it to students and staff. My role will be very brief, is to actually introduce the Tsrc members, including their portfolios, to the university community. In doing so, I will be assisted by Eddie, where you'll see them on the screen. As I go ahead, I will disappear on the screen, but I'll continue to mention the names. I would like to invite, firstly, on the platform, I would like to invite on the Mabata. Eddie, can you assist me with your screen? I'm inviting on the platform, Ms. Mabata Seketi. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Ms. Mabata Seketi, who is taking a role of being the chairperson of the Tsrc. She's in fact responsible for the presidency as per the SRC constitution. She also has an additional responsibility, as the Vice Chancellor has mentioned earlier, that it's 7 portfolios available. She also has an extended responsibility of looking on the Office of Mass Communications and Publicity. Thank you very much. And this is Ms. Mabata. Thank you very much. Going ahead, I would like to invite Mr. Molepo Godfrey to take on the platform whilst we're observing the protocol of safety. Ladies and gentlemen, on the screen, I got Mr. Molepo Godfrey, who is assuming a responsibility of being the secretary of the TSRC. So he's entirely responsible for the secretarial functions in the SRC. And also, he also have an added responsibility And that added responsibility involves constitution, policy, and legal affairs portfolio. Thank you very much, Mr. Molepo. This is your Secretary of the TSRC. Thank you very much, Mr. Molepo. I'm going ahead to invite the third member. The first three members I'm mentioning are merely your executive structure that will be governing the SRC going forward. I'm inviting Ms. Kabelo Noko to take the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, on your screen right now, you have Ms. Kabelo Noko, who is assuming a responsibility of being the treasurer of the TSRC, responsible for general treasury matters in the SRC constitution. Like other members of the TSRC, she also has an added responsibility looking on the projects of the SRC as the projects officer. May I then take this opportunity to thank Ms. Noko. Moving ahead, the TSRC also has additional members in its composition, and such additional members have also been assigned portfolios to ensure that the governance is not affected in terms of student service. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Hopewell Matonsi to assume the platform, to take the platform. Thank you very much, Mr. Matonzi. Ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, you have Mr. Hopewell Matonzi, who is assuming a responsibility of being the chairperson of the Faculty of Humanities. Mr. Matonzi also, like other members, has an added responsibility to look or else attend on matters of student safety and residences on that portfolio. So this is the Faculty Chairperson of Humanities. Thank you very much, Mr. Matonzi. Moving ahead, I would like to invite Ms. Makura Isabel. Ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, I have Ms. Makura Isabel, who is assuming a role of being the Faculty Chairperson of Management and Law. Like all other members, she also has an additional responsibility to look on disability matters on campus. Thank you very much, Ms. Makura. Moving ahead, I would like to invite Mr. Moshe Jonas. Ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, I have Mr. Moshe Jonas, who is the chairperson, who is responsible for the chairpersonship of the Faculty of Science and Agriculture. And Mr. Jonas is also responsible for the portfolio of sports and recreation in the SRC. Thank you very much, Mr. Moshe. At last, inviting Tebelo Somo to take the platform. If if those joining us can switch off the cameras so that we're not getting confused. I'm now on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. I have Tebelo Somo, who is assuming a role of being the faculty chairperson of health sciences. Mr. Somo has 2 additional responsibilities on his portfolio. He is responsible for the health and wellness of students on that portfolio, and is also responsible for the portfolio of culture and religion. And this is the end of the members of the TSRC. And I really appeal to the university community to support them and to work with them. And on that note, Program Director, I think I've completed my mission. And thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Numalo. It was a very well-presented group of vibrant young leaders. We hope and wish them wonderful experiences as they lead the students into these transitional and highly trying times of our newly discovered virus that is different from any other we have faced before. And as they steer the student community into this new phase, we wish them well and hope that they will enjoy and grow in these positions. Of course, the taking accountability of student experiences and lives is a legal affair. We are going to now proceed into a legal formality where we are going to be swearing into official action the Student Representative Council, and to oversee the process, we have our legal representative, Advocate Cornelis, who's going to lead us into getting the students to take oath and remain accountable and remain held responsible for what they are going to be saying in a few moments. Advocate Cornelis, may you lead us into officially installing our students into their respective ranks and roles.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Vice Chancellor, colleagues and students. I will, as indicated, proceed to administer the oaths of office of these transitional SRC members. I will do it in the following sequence. I will first call on the chairperson, then the secretary, then the treasurer, followed by the 4 faculty chairs, and I will call on the 4 faculty chairs as per the custom according to the alphabetical sequence of our 4 faculties. Without further ado, may I request Madam Tekedi Mabata to get to the microphone. Ms. Mabata, are you out there? Ah, there you are. Ms. Mabata, good morning. Please, will you state your full names for the audience?
Sekedi Prudence Mabata.
Thank you, ma'am. And will you then please repeat after me the following? I hereby solemnly swear.
I hereby solemnly swear
That I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo.
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo.
That I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution.
That I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution and the rules
and policies of the UL.
and policies of the UL.
That I will hold my position.
That I will hold my position
As chairperson in the Transitional SRC.
as chairperson in the Transitional SRC.
Of the University of Limpopo.
Of the University of Limpopo.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
And that I will do so with honor and dignity,
with honor and dignity,
and I will be a true and faithful member of the SRC.
and be a true and faithful member of the SRC.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Mr. Program Director, I will then call on Mr. Godfrey Molepo, the Secretary, to step forward. Morning, Mr. Molepo.
Good morning, Advocate.
Will you please state your full names for the audience?
Molepo Godfrey.
Will you please repeat after me and raising your right hand whilst doing so? I hereby solemnly swear
I hereby solemnly swear
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the university,
that I will obey and hold the rules and policies of the University of Limpopo,
that I will hold my position as secretary
that I will hold my position as the secretary
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and with honor and dignity,
and with honor and dignity,
and that I will be a true and faithful member of the interim SRC.
and that I will be a faithful and a truthful member of the Transitional Student Representative Council.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much, Mr. Molepo.
Thanks very much, Advocate.
Then I call on Ms. Norco to please step forward. Good morning, Ms. Norco.
Good morning, Advocate.
Will you please state your full names for the audience?
Noko Kabelo.
Will you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the UL,
that I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the University of Limpopo,
that I will hold my position as treasurer
that I will hold my position as treasurer
in the Transitional SRC
in the Transitional SRC
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability,
and with honor and dignity,
and with honor and dignity,
and be a true and faithful member of the Transitional SRC.
and be a true and faithful member of the Transitional SRC.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Chairperson, as previously indicated, the 4 faculty chairpersons will be called in alphabetical sequence per faculty, starting with Mr. Tabelo Somo, the chairperson of the faculty chairperson of Health Sciences. Good morning, Mr. Somo.
Good morning, Advocate. How are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
That's good to hear. Will you please state your full names for the audience?
Tibello Somo.
Tibello Somo. And would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me the following? I hereby solemnly swear
I hereby solemnly swear
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the university,
that I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the university,
that I will hold my position as Faculty Chairperson of Health Sciences
that I will hold my position as Chairperson of Faculty of Health Sciences
in the Transitional SRC
in the Transitional SRC
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and with honor and dignity,
and with honor and dignity,
and be a true and faithful member of the Transitional SRC.
and be a true and faithful member of the SRC.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. I then call on Mr. Matonzi of Humanities. Morning, Mr. Matonzi.
Morning, Advocate.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. And you?
No, well, thank you. Sir, will you please state your full names for the audience?
Matonzi Hopewell.
Thank you, sir. Will you please raise your right hand and repeat the following after me? I hereby solemnly swear
I hereby solemnly swear
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the university,
that I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the value system of the university.
Are you adding in parts there? That I will hold my position as Faculty Chairperson of Humanities,
that I will hold my position as the Faculty Chairperson of Humanity
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
with honor and dignity,
with honor and dignity,
and be a true and faithful member of the Transitional SRC.
and be a true and faithful member of the TSRC.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much, sir. Chairperson, whilst the COVID protocols are being taken care of, I call on Ms. Isabel Makura to start getting ready. Good morning, Ms. Makura.
Good morning, Advocate.
Will you please state your full names for the audience?
Dorothy Isabella Makura.
Thank you, ma'am. Will you then please raise your right hand and repeat the following after me? I hereby solemnly swear
I hereby solemnly swear
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution,
that I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the UL,
that I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the University of Limpopo,
that I will hold my position
that I will hold my position
as Faculty Chairperson of Management and Law
as Faculty Chairperson of Management and Law
in the Transitional SRC
in the Transitional SRC
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
with honor and dignity,
with honor and dignity,
and be a true and faithful member of the SRC.
and be a true and faithful member of the SRC.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Chairperson, I would then, in the last instant, call on Mr. Moshow, Mr. Jonas Moshow, to present himself. Morning, sir.
Greetings to you, Advocate, and everyone that is watching us.
Sir, will you please state your full names for the audience?
I'm Mushito Jonas Mushu.
Thank you very much. Will you then please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I hereby solemnly swear.
I hereby solemnly swear
that I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo.
That I will be faithful to the University of Limpopo.
That I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution.
That I will obey and uphold the SRC Constitution.
That I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the university.
That I will obey and uphold the rules and policies of the university.
That I will hold my position.
And I will hold my position
as Faculty Chairperson of Science and Agriculture.
As Faculty Chairperson of Science and Agriculture.
In the Transitional SRC.
In the Transitional SRC.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
With honor and dignity.
With honor and dignity.
And that I will be a true and faithful member of the SRC.
And that I will be a true and faithful member of the SRC.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
Chairperson, I thank you for this opportunity. That then disposes of my officiating. I thank you.
Advocate Cornelius, let me thank you very much. We really cherish the moments that we have shared with the students, calling them into action, calling them to show their faces on the screens, and officially swearing them into action, and officially giving them the duties now to start taking up their ranks and roles and to represent the desires of the students and to assist management in student governance activities. And as we face this pandemic, we now have official student representative council that can lead us, the student community, in this process. Thank you, Advocate, for leading this process and overseeing these proceedings. We will now cross over to the moment that the students have been waiting for. They have seen and witnessed the faces of their new representatives. Now they know what, when they meet them in the streets, who they are, and they can present their matters in various platforms, and they know the different structures where they are going to be lodging their different contributions and who to take those contributions to. And the face, the chairperson in the presidency of this SRC, the female president that we have, will now take stage, and I'm sure the students cannot wait to listen to their leader talking to them. I will now welcome Ms. Mabata to come and talk to the student community and talk to the academic community. Let's hear what the Transitional SRC leadership will be saying and how they will be functioning in this transitional period. Ms. Mabata, you can now take the stage and talk to the student community. As they prepare to have Ms. Mabata prepared and following the protocols of the standard operating procedures that we have, we would like to congratulate the Transitional SRC. Please join me as we congratulate them. And funny enough, I got the information that the first female chairperson of the Transitional SRC in the presidency of the SRC, Ms. Mabata, I got this news from a person who was sitting abroad somewhere in Sweden, informing me about the first female president. So you are now being introduced to the world community as the leader of the Transitional SRC. Please talk to your students.
Thank you very much, Program Director. To the members of the University Council, Vice Chancellor, Prof. Mkhalong, the DBT Vice Chancellors, the University Registrar, Executive Deans, and the Deans of Students, Student Governance and Collective Leadership of the Transitional Student Representative Council appointed. To all fellow students at the University of Limpopo and the entire populace at large, receive my humble yet revolutionary greetings. I come before you having just taken an oath. I approach today's installation in my office to service as chairperson of the University Tsrc. With the sense of both honor and humility, I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to make a difference in the life of so many through the leadership of our great university. I am aware of the challenges our university faces. I'm also encouraged that we are showing capability as University of Limpopo is the producer of second and third generation of leaders in South Africa. To name a few, President Cyril Ramaphosa enrolled for his junior qualification at the University of Limpopo. Finance Minister Tito Mboweni studied at the University of Limpopo. Minister of Basic Education Angie Motshekga studied at the University of Limpopo. South African Football Association Vice President Mem Riale Dwaba also completed her diploma in administration at the University of Limpopo. The first and only South African to qualify as a psychological autopsy investigator, Elelwani Mutivi, is a PhD at the University of Limpopo, and all other great leaders the university has produced. This has indeed shown that the University of Limpopo is capable in producing leaders. Therefore, students should be provided with service delivery, not just empty promises. And under the newly appointed Tsrc, proper service delivery is prioritized. That leads to shaping our university in the image of our dreams. It is through our actions that we would give form to the institution which so many have fought and sacrificed for. I have been in some leadership roles since my arrival in the university. I have observed leadership flares of other leaders and attended various leadership engagement. That has certainly made me attempt to analyze and define leadership, which has proved to be an elusive process. I have chosen Robert B.S. shorthand definition, open code. Leadership means having the self-confidence to believe you can make a difference, the patience to believe it matters, and the courage to risk it all because it matters. Leaders should not be defined simply by popularity, but by their willingness to take risks, by their ability to share credit, their strength to admit errors, and their willingness to pick themselves up and keep leading in motivating and partnering for the broader good. Close quote. Students wish for an institution society defined by equality, commonality, humanity, and proper service delivered. They wish for an institution which is worth it's determine how we treasure others. As we make this bold declaration, we are mindful of the depth of the challenges that we must confront. We are aware of the debilitating legacy of our past and the main difficulties of the present. Fellow students, the road ahead will be difficult, hard. We will have to use our courage, wisdom, and resolution to achieve the University of Limpopo of our dreams. Let's aspire to a future beyond the probable. Let us force a compact and efficient, capable institution. We must be student leadership that values excellence, rewards effort and hard work, and reject mediocrity. We must also be an institution that values its students by creating a conducive environment for them to gain skills and necessary knowledge to develop our beautiful university. Every institution or university has its own strengths and weaknesses. Let us try not to embrace our weaknesses. Not that we are shying away from them or we are comfortable having such, but let us find strategies on how to strengthen our weaknesses to become the greatest. Let us embrace our strength, as embracing weaknesses instead actually only shift the society's perception about the university to the wrong direction. If there is anyone who is capable of changing the standing of the University of Limpopo to actually be the greatest as it is, it's us. University of Limpopo is a Black university. Let us show that it is possible. Black child, let us restore the dignity of a Black person by working for each other, supporting each other, and encouraging one another. Thank you to our students. We are because you are. The future of our university depends on your passion and commitment. With immense gratitude and humility, as we continue finding solutions for Africa, I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Samantha. What a wonderful message of you communicating to the student community. Really, I am encouraged to say that if this is where the future is going, if this is where the leadership of the young, vibrant community is leading us, count me in. This is indeed a promising message that you've given to us. And I'm sure the student community now has familiarized themselves with your face, with your team, and they will indeed answer to your call of working together with you so we can take the University of Limpopo, our university, to the next level indeed. This marks the end of this inaugural ceremony, and we congratulate the Transitional SRC into their new position. And from today, you are officially now guided into your positions. Officially can function, and legally so. You have been sworn into action, and you can now from today take on your official ranks and lead the student community to another level. This is the conclusion of what we have witnessed today, the inauguration of the Transitional SRC of the University of Limpopo. Thank you for joining us.